Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Clangin and Bangin with Mikey, episode 116, and it's still Cerebral Palsy Awareness Month, so we're still gonna talk about it. Since I talked about the disability and the different types and how it impacts the brain, your speech, your gait, all that stuff. Some of the stuff we're gonna talk about today is 7 things you should not say to somebody with cerebral palsy, because I understand that you guys think it's sympathetic, but for us, people who live with this disability, and first off, it's not a disease, bro. It's just a disability. When people say certain things like this, it's really frustrating because it shows how ignorant some people really are. Yeah. So let's get started. So 7 things you should not say to somebody with cerebral palsy. As somebody who's lived with CP for his entire life, it sucks not being able to quote unquote fit in, or it sucks people looking at you and making fun of you and making fun of the way you speak, making fun of the way you walk. It is what it is, right? And we're gonna get to the dating part later on too, because that's a topic I've been wanting to hit on. So you never want to compliment somebody on their looks to saying something as simple as you're too pretty to be in that wheelchair. Like people with severe cerebral palsy or lack of mobility because of the CP want to be in a wheelchair. And so it's like who the fuck wants to do that? You know, nobody wants to be stuck in a wheelchair. So, and just for future reference, don't say that shit, because that shit, we're gonna look at you like you stupid. Whether we're able-bodied, whether we walk with an assistant, or whether we use a wheelchair. Don't say no dumb shit like that, because we're just gonna look at you like you fucking dumb, because you are. Anyway, number 2, you're so lucky that you get to sit in the wheelchair and have others do stuff for you. I could understand if it was a child, and like we're in grade school, because that has happened when I was in grade school. To my twin brother or other people in wheelchairs. It's like people have said that shit, but it's usually a classmate, who's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old that doesn't know any better. I'm talking about grown ass adults, saying some bullshit like this. Number 3, this one kind of irks me. Well, not all of them on the list irk me, especially number 6. But yeah, let me get through the list first. You could have done so much better if you didn't have cerebral palsy. This is not only offensive; it's extremely hurtful, and it's something that a lot of people don't think about before they say, it. They just assume, oh yeah, it's got to be the disability. Like, no, it's not that. It's like, because I've been in situations where, whether it's my personal life or whether it's my academic, whether it's college, professional, whatever, it doesn't matter. Sometimes I just don't understand it, and I can be like, huh? Like my brain doesn't click, and it's not I don't think it's a disability. I just think it's like, oh, either you're real shitty at explaining shit, right? And I wasn't really the best student. A lot of the shit that I studied in school wasn't until I got to college where I was like, yo, I could study a whole bunch of different range of shit. I could study, whatever I want, and so to me that was cool, because I was able to, I was able to hit so many different areas of interest, and yeah, that's it. Number 4, I don't mean to be rude, but what's wrong with you? My response, depending on where I'm at, will be nothing. It's a Monday morning, or it's a Tuesday morning, and I'll be like, oh, nothing, I'm cool, knowing good and goddamn well what the fuck they talking about. Yeah, but you can't let them get to you though, man. It's like, because it's like people like that, it's like obviously they can tell that something is, wrong with you, that you were born different, you know. But to point that out, like, bro, nigga, you don't need to know. You don't need to know. You know what I mean? To me, that shit is just weird. Straight up. Factual. You have cerebral palsy. I feel so bad for you. This has actually happened. Or was I dating somebody at the time? I think I was dating somebody at the time, and she said that she was like, you know, well, like you're cerebral palsy. I feel so bad for you. It's like, nah, I ain't got cerebral palsy. Cerebral palsy got me. What I meant for that is when I say it is like, I don't have to conform to the disability. Disability got to conform to me, you know, and that's why for me it's like I'm gonna keep doing anything and everything that I want to do. I don't give a fuck what y'all think or what people think I should be able to do, yada yada yada, whoop de whoop, kiss my ass, suck my dick type of shit, right? My apologies. I'm getting a little heated. Number 6, may God heal you. I've never understood this. And I'm not talking about anybody who's ultra religious or anything like that. Like, I'm cool, you know, with every religion out there. Hell, I want to learn something from it. But don't ever tell me, may God heal you. Like, first off, bruh, it's like, how can something heal me when I can't see it? You know, it's funny, because I remember telling one of my partners, and coolest cat ever, you know, my day one nigga. And he religious, but he's not uberly religious. So, quick story. One morning, we out there chilling. I show up to his place, pull up to his crib, and we talking. We just chilling. And he goes, hey, bro. Yeah. He goes, hey, man, you you ever thought how different your life would be if you didn't have cerebral palsy? I was like, nigga, it would be the same. And what? It would be the same. And he was like, hey, you know, but he's like, don't you want to wake up one day and I not have any pain, this and that, or, you know, or not have any difficulty walking? I said, when I was younger, 100%. You know, when I was so dead set on trying to fit in with people or trying to be accepted, and I realized, fuck it, man, it don't matter. At the end of the day, nigga, I am who I am. I'm never going to stop who I am or be quiet because, you know, motherfuckers feel like uncomfortable around me. Bitch, be uncomfortable, you know? Motherfucker, I am that pressure. Anyway, man, we had that conversation, and like I said, day one nigga for real. That's my dude. I love him to death, and like, he was just curious because, you know, like me, he's naturally curious, so he gonna ask, and so like we had that conversation, you know, chopped it up, whoop de whoop, and hopefully people understand that, you know, people with cerebral palsy, you know, like the mild version I have, you know, it's like, yo, we can still do everything else. Like, we may be a little different. Like, we may not be the most athletic, but tell you one thing. I'm gonna say that for later. I had no idea that you understood because you had cerebral palsy. I've actually had this happen to me too. I have so many interests, you know, whether it's music, politics, you know, sports, whatever it is, whoop-de-whoop. And a lot of my interests are a wide range. And so when I tell people that, oh, boom, 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 they're like, oh, well, they're like, you know that? You know, I was shocked because you had cerebral palsy. And I'm like, what's a physical disability got to do with me knowing shit? It's like, I've never understood that. So I've always thought that was strange. And it's like, strange because people would judge you. I mean, because number one, it told me right then and there that people would judge you basically off of what they physically see. You know, and it is what it is, right? And I don't really get too upset about it or get angry because it's no point. Because it's like, why get angry when somebody who's a grown-ass adult doesn't take his or her time to actually educate themselves and find out that other people in, in the world have disabilities, and and that's another thing too in the workforce, man. We're less likely to call out sick. You know, we're less likely to have bad attendance. We're less likely to, you know, have bad work ethic because we're constantly working to not show that we belong, or show that we deserve this spot, but we're constantly working because that's what we've had to do. My entire life, whether it's friends, families, ex-girlfriends, um, casual things going on, man. I've always had to prove that I was that nigga. And when I say that, I mean, it's like, I've always had to prove that I was that dude. It's like, which brings me to my next topic, man. I was looking up, does having cerebral palsy affect sexual intercourse? And I can tell you, personal experience, it does not. And believe me, it's interesting because women get with me and they're like, I don't know what, like they're like, oh, well, I didn't know you was like that. And yeah, what can I say, man? Man puts it down. Simple as that. And I can't speak for everybody else, but let's just say that you don't judge a book by its cover. That's all I'm gonna say. But anyway, man, the last thing I'm gonna touch upon is the life expectancy. I wasn't able to print out this information, so I'm just gonna read it off my computer. It says children with mild cerebral palsy have a 20%, have a 99% chance of living to 20 years old. That is just numbers. It doesn't mean anything. I don't know how old this information is. I have to go look it up. Because that's the same shit they told us 30, 40 years ago. And they said children with severe cerebral palsy have a 40 chance of living to 20 years old. Again, I don't know how old these stats are, and I think honestly these motherfuckers are guessing, because it comes down to me, three things: your lifestyle, your activity level, and your nutrition. Because if you're active, whether it's going for a walk or going to the gym, and if you're doing that shit, and then it's gonna help you live a longer, healthier, happier life. And people with cerebral palsy, they actually recommend that you work out, so it helps that I'm always in the gym. Number one, because for me it was always an even playing field. I hooped back in the day, played a little football. But, and I had a nice little crossover, had a nice little 15, 20-set jump shot, I could shake some niggas here and there. I mean, like, I wasn't no Tim Hardaway or nothing like that, but, like, I could get down in the hardwood if I had to. But bodybuilding, man, is like, what speaks for you is your body. How you physically look. And how you physically look trumps everything else. Because a great-looking physique, I don't care if you got one leg, no legs, one arm, whatever it is. A great looking physique says one thing. This person, him or her, busts their ass so much that they're in top physical peak shape. And nobody's going to talk about the disability. They're just going to talk about, man, this motherfucker's out here getting in it. He's out here, like, see, here you go. I get excited and I start stuttering. What was I gonna say? Yeah, like him and her is out there busting their ass every day to get the results that they want to get. And it's extremely important to realize that, man. It's extremely important to realize that Just because you got a physical disability doesn't mean you gotta listen to these motherfuckers who tell you what you can and can't do. Because people will tell you what you can and can't do based off their perceptions and their expectations of you. That never get it twisted. If somebody tells you, yo, I can't see, well, like, you can't do this or you can't do that, be like, okay, cool, thank you, and go fucking do it anyway. I remember when I was first learning how to drive stick, I still want to drive a stick shift car. One of my uncles, he said, yeah, well, like, you can't drive stick because of your disability. Oh, okay, thank you. What I do? Called up one of my partners, be like, hey, man, I know you got a stick shift vehicle. You might have a practice on it. And took us a couple hours, but, like, we got it down, you know what I mean? So, but I think at the end of the day, man, what matters the most is what you believe, what you can and can't do. Because I tell you one thing, if you believe you can do it, you're gonna do it. If you believe that you can't do it, you're not gonna do it. And so if you believe that you can and can't do it, you're right on both accounts. But this is 16 minutes of your life that you guys won't get back. Hope y'all keeping it 4-piece. Private player, positive pushing. See y'all next week. Ghost.